Remember when I said there was going to be no NXT this week? Apparently I lied. Also, remember when I said I was going to get one of these uploaded every day of the week? Also, apparently I lied. What's up, everybody? My name's OMG WTF LOTWBRB. What one hell of an intro, calling myself out. Welcome to more of the WWE vs. TEW series, the series where we take the events and shows that the WWE books, run them in the game to see just how well WWE does against TEW, or if Total Extreme Wrestling will be the company that brings WWE to its knees. Today, we are booking the very first ever episode of NXT in this series. It is the first NXT of September. Main event of the night is Velveteen Dream versus Johnny Gargano. And I mentioned in the previous videos that there was going to be no NXT because I thought that Pete Dunne's contract was still, we're still waiting on that, but I was wrong. We're good, so we'll go ahead and run with NXT. I figured, since we can do it. I figure with NXT and like the Mae Young Classic, I'm going to pretty much try to edit these people's popularity in the Southeast region to kind of like, I guess, simulate the shows a little better, because the way TEW is, it's not going to give you the ratings you would see for like NXT, because, well, a lot of these guys are unknown talents. And same thing for the Mae Young, especially with the Mae Young Classic, because a lot of those people are just being brought in or like completely unknown. So I'm thinking for like the Mae Young Classic, I'll probably repeat this when I do the Mae Young Classic as well, probably giving all the girls around, equal popularity in the Southeast region and just letting it be about their performance at that point. And also kind of editing, as you just saw me a couple seconds there where I edited the match ratio for TV and all that. I figured I'll edit it for NXT and the Mae Young Classic and stuff like that, because those are more wrestling oriented shows. And I guess in a way 205 Live could be more wrestling oriented as well, but I feel like that could be the exception because it is kind of sold as, a WWE product, or at least it was. Nowadays, it's more Triple H's product, so I guess it is kind of closer to NXT. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think of 205 Live. Maybe I should give them some special treatment as well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and run this show. I also don't want to give too many people too much special treatment because, well, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I feel like if I get started it, I'm just going to keep, doing more and more to help WWE out here. Real quick, also, before we continue going, I know I just mentioned not too long ago about increasing people's popularities in the regions and whatnot. I didn't do it for this episode because I actually did completely forget. I was all ready to, I was like, oh, Pete Dunne's active? I was like, let me just double check. I'll go ahead and, try to book him in a match and see if he can be booked. About the second I clicked on, the advanced segment is when I realized, oh, shit, I didn't edit the popularities of anybody or anything, especially the Mae Young Classic, so these are probably going to be the worst episodes of NXT and the Mae Young Classic going forward. But if you guys have any advice on these, go ahead and comment down below. If you guys think maybe the popularity should be upped a little bit more, or if you have any other ideas of how I could simulate NXT and the Mae Young Classic better, you're more than welcome to. But as we progress, unless I hear something different, this is how we are going to move forward. So a 44, solid D rating here, and about that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Cassius Ohno goes over Kona Reeves in our opening match of the night in 2 minutes 25 seconds with a KO. I'm not sure what that is. It might be that elbow, or maybe he just legitimately knocked him out. I don't know. Kona Reeves seems like he's got like a Tyler Breeze kind of gimmick. It looks like he's going by like The Finest or something like that. A bit of a lame name, The Finest, but whatever. But main thing of note here is you might see the handle changes down here. You might not. It is kind of cover. We are starting to tease Cassius Ohno to be turning on. He might already be a heel. This might be the fact that, I don't watch NXT regularly, so I don't know if he's already a heel, but last time I saw him, he wasn't a heel. And even though he's kind of making a promise about, whoever comes through here with a lot of buzz means that I'm going to knock them out, which, let me just go. Oh, before we move on. Kona Reeves seemed off his game, but he is getting better at his gimmick. Cassius had an in-ring performance of a 53, and Kona with a 22, so. But yeah, as we move on to the next segment here, he cuts a brief little promo pretty much saying, when he came in, everyone was all hype about him, but the buzz slowly died. And, you know, there's always somebody new, and pretty much making the promise that no matter who walks through here, I'm going to take them out pretty much. If you have buzz behind them, you got to take on Cassius Ohno. And he is starting to tease a little bit of a heel turn. It's definitely what it feels like. But I mean, I'm going to wait to pull the trigger until it's like he does exactly what he needs to do to turn a heel. Maybe try to help them out a little bit with, you know, some of their downsides here. I mean, don't want to just ruin everybody with the horrible turns. 34 E+ rating here as we hype up the fact that Johnny Gargano will take on the Velveteen Dream in our main event. And also the Forgotten Sons make their debut tonight. Forgotten Sons is a stable between Jackson Ryker, formerly known as Gunner from TNA, if you remember him, Steve Cutler, and Wesley Blake, former NXT Tag Team Champion with Buddy Murphy. Ooh, okay, coming up next, we have our tag team matchup here. 31 E+ rating here in an abysmal matchup. The Forgotten Sons, of course, almost said Stephen Blake. Wesley Blake and Steven Cutler go over the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford at 9 minutes, 24 seconds when Steve Cutler defeats Montez Ford by pinfall. We saw Jackson Ryker. He attacked Montez during the match. Shane Thorne distracting Montez Ford. Cutler apparently was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performances. So that is something that'll probably get fixed throughout NXT as well when I, you know, start getting a better clue. Because, I mean, I don't know Steve Cutler's skills. I can't go in there and be like, okay, this is what Steve Cutler's good at. But now that I've gotten a good look at him, I can, you know, maybe if I get a couple more good looks at him too. One match is a good gauge. I can also edit their skills as we move forward as well. With that being said, though, the match itself, it was okay. Nothing really to brag about. Street Profits are great at their gimmick, but they're not the best in-ring workers. So that's kind of at the disadvantage as well. But it does look like the Street Profits are already in a feud with I believe they're going by the Mighty now. I know they were like TM61 for a little bit. So that's why Shane Thorne came out there. In fact, the match ended with guys in ski masks coming down to the ring and stealing Montez's Ford. I think it was his bling or something. I don't know. And Montez Ford catching one and taking off the mask, and it being Shane Thorne, which allowed the distraction for Jackson Ryker to hit him, toss him in the ring, and the Forgotten Sons get their victory pretty much. Jackson Ryker doing some good work ringside. Announcing helped out the match. It did cool the crowd, though. Steve Cutler with oh boy, that's a bad performance. In-ring performance of a 14. Wesley Blake with a 27. Angelo Dawkins with a 36, so it looks like Dawkins was the best of the match. And Montez Ford with a 28, so there you have that. What is this? Oh, it's a gimmick change. So he's going from a cocky gimmick to the party animal. That's just how the Street Profits are. Let's see what we get. It's got an average rating for his party animal. And same thing for Montez Ford. He's going from cocky to party animal. Also average rating. Better than both of them. They had like below average and negative or bad or whatever it was. So, hey, worked better. 45 Solid D. This starts the storyline that I'm assuming has been ongoing for a while now, where William Regal is looking for the attacker of, almost said Tommy Black, because I'm used to booking him in my other save, Aleister Black. And he's interviewing Heavy Machinery, Otis Dozovich, and Tucker Knight backstage because I guess they provided him with some video footage or something. Otis is a little bit nervous at first. He finally confesses that it was him indeed who broke the toilet backstage. It's not what this is about, though. Regal just wants to know if they saw anything else during the Black attack, and they make sure they'd let him know, look, all we saw was Tommaso Ciampa hiding in the bushes, pretty much. So there you have that. Heavy Machinery helping out with that. 55 C- rating here as we get a recap of the match from last week that we didn't get to see, mostly because Pete Dunne wasn't under contract, where Pete Dunne, the United Kingdom champion, teamed with the North American champion Ricochet to take on the Undisputed Era, being Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. At least I believe it was them. And then, of course, they had a little bit of a heat exchange backstage, which led to them pretty much challenging each other for each other's titles. And that leads us to our next announcement. 55 C- what? 55 C-. Champion versus champion is confirmed for 2 weeks. It'll be Ricochet defending his North American Championship against Pete Dunne, who will also be defending his United Kingdom Championship, if I heard that correct. But I believe that is what they said, so I guess we're guaranteed to have a new champion, and I fear it'll be Ricochet, to be honest, because I just don't see Pete Dunne or Ricochet dropping the North American Championship so soon. So, damn, there goes my man Pete Dunne. 50D plus as we hype up the fact that Kyrie Zane, the NXT Women's Champion, will be in action for the first time since winning the NXT Championship or Women's Championship. I'm all over the place right now. 46 solid D rating as we get a quick little message from the War Raiders, Rowe and Hanson, to the Undisputed Era, saying that the era is pretty much over and the War Raiders are coming for them. Wasn't that supposed to start? Okay, it did start a storyline. I was gonna say, did it? What? I could have swore. And then 47 solid D rating here as Kyrie Zane has her first match since winning the Women's Championship in NXT. And about that had subpar wrestling to it and little heat. Kyrie Zane goes over Trisha Dora in 2 minutes 41 seconds with the insane elbow. Trisha Dora, I'm not sure if that's who it is. I don't know if it's some local talent that they brought in or if it's actually someone in the developmental territory. If Trisha Dora is constantly used, I will most likely end up hiring this person. But at the end of the day, Trisha Dora is played by a lady known as Asia Pereira or something like that, just in case you guys were curious. But she might be the permanent Trisha Dora. I have put her on shortlist, so if I see her more often, I'll most likely hire her. 47 solid D here. Interesting enough here, Kyrie Zane and Trisha Dora have great chemistry, and it showed in their performance. So, good stuff all around there. Kyrie, of course, shown in this match with her in-ring performance of a 65. Trish with a 22. And she's also made the best of her appearance with improving in Rumble and performance skills. Come on, we press the button, don't lie to me. Afterwards, we get a 57 C- rating here as Shayna Baszler comes out and confronts Kyrie Zane. She tips over her pirate chest that had all these little gold pieces in there that was holding the NXT Championship. They go all in with this pirate gimmick with her, by the way. I mean, it'll be interesting. But, yeah, Baszler kind of gets the advantage on Kyrie at first, but Kyrie battles her back and ends up taking her out to pretty much stand tall. Apparently Shayna Baszler is not suited to her gimmick, so it's yet another person I have to check out with gimmicks. But if it's correct, I won't change it. And then that starts the storyline between these two. That's not too bad of a segment, by the way. 71 B- rating as Tommaso Ciampa cuts a little, I guess, brief promo backstage on his own time where he doesn't, a lot of people are hearing him, but they're not listening to him. And he wants those who actually listen and understand his words to follow his lead pretty much. So Ciampa might have some plans. I don't know. Maybe he's going to be starting a stable. 66 C+ as we hype up the fact that Johnny Gargano versus the Velveteen Dream is next. 52 D+ rating here as William Regal questions Lars Sullivan on the Black Attack, asking him what he was doing there. Lars makes it clear that if he was the one that attacked Aleister Black, that he would know because he would have been standing over his body. And in fact, he was looking for Aleister Black that night, but all he saw pretty much was William Regal standing over an unconscious Aleister Black with the Undisputed Era running the other way. He also makes a jab at EC3 because he said, you would know if I attacked Black because I'd be standing there taking credit for the attack like I did with EC3. So that goes ahead and starts a storyline between him and EC3 that looks like it's been ongoing for now. Gains some heat for the Aleister Black feud as well. And we, unlike the, Cassius Ohno thing, where he can, is starting to tease a heel turn, this guy is a heel turn, so we're going to have to just do it either way, unfortunately. His Maniac got a rating of average, so that's pretty good. But, of course, his turn's just going to go bad because, well, too many turns. Main event time, 61 solid C rating here in a decent matchup. The Velveteen Dream goes over Johnny Gargano in 17 minutes, 9 seconds by pinfall. Great back and forth match between these two. Gargano is such a great storyteller. He just really can just gauge you. Velveteen Dream, in my opinion, and probably the opinion of a lot of people, is the surprise hit in NXT. And I love Velveteen Dream because one of my major critiques of NXT is there's not enough homegrown talent. It's really just, honestly, what Cassius Ohno said, the next flavor of the month. Which independent star are we bringing in this week to, build up? Johnny Gargano's, in my opinion, one of those, few independent stars who has spent in his time in NXT and, built himself up, kind of like Sami Zayn did. Unlike, where Aleister Black or Drew McIntyre or Bobby Roode or Finn Balor or blah, blah, blah come in, just pretty much are the main event right away. Gargano worked his way up from, tag team and all that. And the Velveteen Dream, like I said, he's completely taken the ball and just ran with it. Unfortunately, it does look like we are going to have to edit the Dream a little bit, so let's just do V-Dream, and let's just do Stamina. We'll most likely end up checking all his stats after that, though, as well. Velveteen Dream is also off his game. That's unfortunate, but this did deserve better commentary, so I guess... I'm not going to say that's a good sign, because it was an average match, and makes me look at Nigel McGuinness and Percy Watson and Mauro Ranallo and go, what the hell's going on, guys? Nonetheless, though, Velveteen Dream with an in-ring performance of a 56. Johnny Gargano with a 65. Gargano's improving in his performance skills. And we end off the show with a 66C+ as just Johnny Gargano, a.k.a. Johnny Wrestling, or Johnny Failure, because believe it or not, some of the crowd actually chanting Johnny Failure at him. He just kind of starts having doubts, and he just leaves the arena. He doesn't even walk up the ramp. He just walks out the crowd way. So Gargano is having his doubts, and what if he... I wasn't thinking about this before, but what if he eventually turns heel and, aligns himself with Tommaso Ciampa again? To pretty much just... It's his sign of defeat. Ciampa obviously knows what to do, so I'll just align myself with him and, get successful that way. 61 solid C for our first ever NXT. That's honestly not too bad, considering that we really didn't get to edit a lot of popularity. Now, some superstars' popularity has already been edited because, well, they were on the main roster before I did this episode, so I have edited them in the past. Guys like Johnny Gargano and Velveteen Dream, or Shayna Baszler and Kyrie Zane, people like them, but others ones like, the War Raiders or Cassius Ohno, even maybe not Cassius Ohno, but some of those guys weren't really edited as well anyway. So that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will have the Mae Young Classic along with everything else up for you guys today. Sorry about missing the one day, but look, yesterday, I don't know, I was just really tired. I ended up waking up pretty early. In fact, I woke up early today. I'm really only on 3 hours of sleep right now, but my body's just acting weird, so had a bit of a headache, took a nap yesterday, and by the time I woke up, it was like, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to get all these videos up in time, because I still had to watch SmackDown and all that. But with that being said, I will see you guys for the very first episode of the Mae Young Classic. We'll see how that one turns out. Until then, though, have a great one, guys.